Hi, I'm Ken, and welcome to my channel Endurance Sweat for a special Zwift Academy Road edition on the baseline ride. The Zwift Academy Road starts September 12th and runs through October 9th. There are 6 structured workouts bookended by a baseline ride to find out your beginning performance level and a finish line ride to see how much you've improved during the Zwift Academy. The baseline and finish line rides are being held on the Legends and Lava route. It's 24.5 kilometers long with 321 meters of elevation gain. Though you'll be riding the whole Legends and Lava route during the baseline and finish line rides, it's only in 3 segments that you'll be tested. Your VO2 capability will be tested on the Titans Grove KOM. Your sprint capability will be tested on the Watopia Sprint Forward, and your threshold capability will be tested on the Volcano KOM. So when you're doing the ride, you can ride comfortably between the other segments, but you have to give it your best effort during the Titans Grove KOM, the Watopia Sprint Forward, and the Volcano KOM. And after the baseline ride, Zwift will categorize you into one of 3 phenotypes. Sprinter, you have a strong neuromuscular system. Pursuiter, your anaerobic energy system stands out. Or time trialist, your aerobic energy system is your strong point. You can learn more by checking out the website below. Here you'll be able to check out Zwift's take on your phenotype and learn about your strengths. What's a phenotype? Why the 3 segments? Interpreting your results and applying your results. So check out this website. Now, it's important to understand the route that you'll be using for the baseline test, and in particular the details about each segment. The Titans Grove Reverse KOM, the Watopia Sprint, and the Volcano KOM. You can learn more by visiting zwifthub.com. And for more details, check out Zwift Insider. On Zwift Insider, you'll get a write-up of the route description and details on each of the segments. Sprint, forward, 350 meters with 0 elevation gain. Titans Grove Reverse KOM, 910 meters with 39 meters elevation gain. And Volcano KOM, 3.75 kilometers with 126 meters of elevation gain. Also on Zwift Insider is a video that was made for last year's Zwift Academy of the ride on the Legends and Lava route. It's worth watching. And you can even get more information on these segments by checking them out on VeloViewer. So just summarizing the baseline segments, first you'll have the Titans Grove Reverse KOM. It starts at 4.2 kilometers and it's 910 meters long at 4.3% average grade. Then there'll be the Watopia Sprint. It starts at 16.5 kilometers and it's 350 meters. There's no gradient. And finally, there'll be the Volcano KOM. It starts at 20.9 kilometers. It's 3.5 kilometers long, and the average gradient is 3.2%. Just keep in mind that while the Volcano KOM averages 3.2%, it's not a steady grade all the way up. The gradient fluctuates quite a bit. Let's go back and have a look on zwiftinsider.com again. Have a look at this gradient chart on the bottom half of the screen. You can see at the bottom of the climb, it's 4 and 5%, and then backs off a bit, picks up a bit to 3%, and then slacks off, and it's 0% for a bit, before picking back up to 3 and 4 and even 5%. And then another ease where it goes down to 0.7% or even 0%, before picking back up to 3, 4, 5%. And then at the very end, it even picks up to 10% just before you get to the banner. Typically, your best result is to keep an even effort for the whole climb. So say you plan to climb at 200 watts, adjust your gearing so you're consistently at 200 watts, whether it's at 4% or slacks off to 0%. But then be prepared to really push it when you get to that steep ramp just before the end. Now, as a point of reference for you, I did a pre-ride of the Legends and Lava route. And keep in mind that I'm around 240 watts per kilogram FTP on Zwift. And for the Titans Grove Reverse KOM, it took me about 3 minutes in a good effort. For the Watopia Sprint, I turned in 30 seconds, and I probably won't do much better than that in the actual baseline ride. And for the Volcano KOM, it took me 11 minutes. So be prepared for efforts of that duration. And just other note, for the full Legends in Lava route, on my pre-ride, it took me about an hour to do the full route. Now here are some baseline ride tips, and I've broken it down to preparing in the days before, just before the ride, and during the ride. So let's talk about what you can do to improve your performance in the days ahead. First, keep in mind that the baseline and finish line rides are in sim mode, not erg mode, so just be prepared for that. And in these rides, there's no drafting, so your bunch position does not matter. And I suggest you use the same bike for both the baseline and finish line rides. Same bike and same wheels, so that each ride is comparable. Most importantly, study the course and the segments beforehand. Know where the segments start, the length and grade of the segments. Do a pre-ride of the course if possible, or watch the course video on Zwift Insider. And I might suggest that for each of the segments, at least for the Titans Grove Reverse KOM and for the Volcano KOM, that you have a target watts or watts per kilogram pacing in mind for each of those segments. Now, just before the ride, well, in this case, the day before, you want to be rested going into these rides. So you want to be off the bike or just have done a recovery ride on the day prior to the baseline ride. You don't want to go into this with tired legs. You should probably plan on eating at least an hour before the baseline ride, have a light meal, and be hydrated. And at the same time, have your water bottles and gels set out that you might want to grab during the baseline ride. Set up and start your fans and have your towels at hand. Very important, have the segment start distances written down and in front of you so you don't get surprised when the segments start. And log on and get on your trainer, I say at least 10 minutes before the ride starts, to check your trainer, sensor pairing, and maybe warm up a bit. Now, during the baseline ride itself, I say give it your best effort during the test segments. That is the Titans Grove KOM, the Watopia Sprint, and the Volcano KOM. And that best effort, or the intensity that you apply to each of these segments, should be the same that you're going to apply when you do the finish line ride. You don't want to sandbag it for yourself by going easy on this baseline ride and then busting your gut on the finish line ride. You want to do the same level of best effort for both rides. Again, keep close track of when each segment starts. For this version of the baseline ride, Zwift will have some on-screen prompts. To get your best results, you'll want to get up to speed immediately before the start of each segment, and that's especially true for the sprint segment. Other than when you're riding the 3 segments, roll comfortably. Most importantly, do not get sucked in and keeping up with other riders on the baseline ride. Keep in mind there's no drafting, and there's no prize for finishing before or after other riders. This is simply a test of your capabilities. And between the segments, again, ride comfortably, and it's a good opportunity to take a sip, and if you need it, perhaps a gel, especially before the Volcano KOM segment. You might also want to check out GP Lama's 5 tips to know for the baseline ride that he produced last year. And after your baseline ride, check for an email from Zwift for your baseline ride results and Zwift's identification of your phenotype. Then get ready to ride the Zwift AcademyRoad's 6 structured workouts. I hope you found this video on Zwift Academy's baseline ride to be helpful. And if you have, please click on that like button, subscribe, click on the notification bell, but most importantly, please leave comments. I really appreciate your comments. It makes doing these videos worthwhile. Okay, until next time, train hard and have fun.